You're good to go.
Good evening and welcome everybody to the strangest Lone Star Shootout ever. I want to thank all of y'all for hanging in there with us through the changes we had to make due to COVID, through the fact that Hurricane Hannah blew us out last week, and through the fact that we've obviously been having watching the weather forecast this week to get us to this point. I'm gonna try and present to y'all a kind of quick rules highlight, captain's meeting video to go over some things that hopefully will help you guys as reminders before you leave for departure, as well as to look back at and review while you're offshore if you have any questions. So we'll be as quick as we can be. And hopefully you find this helpful. Feel free to feel free to send this video or link to the video to anybody you think ought to look at it. I think the first thing to emphasize is the two primary big changes that we have this year, and obviously the one I don't think it really needs mentioning, but our departure time is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on Thursday, and fishing time is any time right after your departure. Now, I'll get into the departure protocol in here in just a second, but so departure time 10 a.m. Thursday, and that's going to be from your dock slip, your dock, your marina, your fuel dock, but it'll be basically as you untie your lines for the last time, ready to go. The other major change we did was increase the blue marlin minimum size length limit to 106 inches. So I think we're all used to the short length measurement to the fork of the tail, but the minimum length to weigh a blue marlin this year is 106 inches. I will remind you, as it's stated in the rules and in the scoring, the only reason to weigh a blue marlin is if you are entered in the blue marlin weighed side pot. If you're not entered in any of the blue marlin, specific blue marlin pots, then we prefer not to weigh your fish because it's a wasted fish. So before you kill a fish, just know that it won't do you any benefit. We'll get into the scoring and will help you understand that if you're not sure. But so it's 106 inch minimum. We will still expect to weigh some fish because it's been a great year and a lot of big fish been caught. Something else that's come up, a couple of questions. I want to go ahead and put this out there to those of you that hadn't heard. We did decide all the way back at the initial stages of the COVID changes that when this tournament is over, we're going to calculate some sort of an entry fee refund based on the fact that we're not holding our social events. It's been a difficult tournament to budget because of the COVID changes, because of the now week-long extension, and so what we intend to do is when we get through with the tournament and able to sort everything out, is obviously we'll have some additional expenses that we don't typically occur, but we'll also have some significant expenses that we usually occur that won't happen this year. So there will be, you will hear back from us within, I don't want to make a deadline the accountants can't keep up with, but I'd say within 2 to 3 weeks after the tournament, we'll get back to you with a possible refund amount. Any unused dockage fees that you prepaid or additional dinner tickets, social tickets that you prepaid, those will also be refunded. So just so we're clear on that. Next I'm going to move into some just general information items. And all of you have, and we're going to email one more time tonight some of these forms, just make sure that you got them on the boat and you'll have them in your device, your phone, your laptop, your computer, whatever. So you'll be able to reference them while you're offshore. But everybody at some point in time by now has gotten this particular form, 2 pages, and it's general information for participants. A couple of items to note on that, on this sheet, is one I just mentioned, the departure time, and I will go over real quick the departure protocol. When you are ready to depart in the morning, anytime from 10 o'clock, after 10 o'clock. We require that you shoot a very short video. I've tested it myself. It can be done in less than 20 seconds. And you're going to video your departure. And what we need to see in that departure is basically your lines being removed from the dock. As you're shooting it, identify your boat. Best way to do that is just so clear and concise in the video. State your boat name and your lines coming off, and then give one final shot of your GPS showing the time and your position. And that's all we need. It's quick, it's easy. Before you get moved away too far, I recommend strongly that you immediately text that. And where you're going to send that is, each of you got in your bucket today a laminated sheet called Catch Reports Communication Weigh-In. Backside has video rules. On this sheet there are 3 land contact cell numbers. One of them's mine, one of them's Jordan Butler's, one of them's Laurie. Okay? Once you shoot that short video, text it to any of these 3 numbers. Okay? You probably won't get a reply, but don't worry about that. Keep that video obviously on your phone. Don't delete it, just in case somehow it doesn't ever go through. But that's your departure protocol if you're leaving from any port other than Port O'Connor. Now, what we like to do, the Port O'Connor boats, their departure will be from right in front of Alligator Head Club at 10 o'clock. So we'll put something else out into that tonight. But for Port O'Connor boats, we'd like you to, once you get out of your slip before 10 o'clock, pull on around. If you're not in Alligator Head Club, if you're in Sanctuary or Caracol or coming from your home or wherever, is pull in front of Caracol, or front of Alligator Head Club rather, anytime starting at 10 o'clock, and just report in on channel 68 your boat name and that you're checking out, and we'll respond and have you checked out that way. So Port O'Connor boats can check out by radio, passing by Alligator Head Club, not before 10 a.m. So that's it on the departure. Again, any questions on that? It's on the general information sheet. It's also in the rules, which we'll hit to also in just a second. Your weigh-in and video procedure, video review procedures, real quickly. Again, urge everybody to read the general information sheet, and also you'll see it on the laminated sheet. You have to be in by 6 p.m. on Saturday, and that's inside the rocks at the town jetties. Give us a call on VHF 68 after you've entered, not before. So make sure you get inside the rocks. Call Tournament Control on channel 68. Check in that you're either weighing fish or bringing video. We'll instruct you from there. And we're only going to be weighing one slip open for the weigh-in, and we're going to have one additional slip open solely for video review. So we're going to do video review and weigh-in at the weigh station. The weigh station this year is at Port O'Connor Fishing Center, basically the same location many of y'all familiar with that Poco Bueno had for years. And beyond that, we're going to also be limiting it as you get into the slip, get tied up. We'll have our hands there to help, but we'll limit you to 2 people per boat to get off and escort your fish. Once the fish are weighed, we'll work with you as best we can to accommodate additional people for pictures. As video review, you'll let us know you're coming in, pull into the video review slip when called in. We'll get you right into one person, bring the camera off the boat. We'll look at the video, get you back to your boat, and so you can go back to your slip. We will be providing at the weigh-in, as you pull into those slips and while we're weighing your fish or looking at your video, Cotton Culinary will be on site providing whatever number of meals you tell us when you get checked in that night. We're going to provide you a good hot meal right there at the weigh station. So if you don't go to the weigh station, you come back to Port O'Connor, check in with us, let us know, and we'll get meals to you. So That's video weigh in. Object of the day. You have, we're given in your buckets 2 towels. They're basically golf towels. One's orange, one's blue. We made this change. Obviously, now we have Thursday fishing, and we're really only set up for Friday, Saturday. So we're going to double up on object of the day in the sense that on Thursday, you're going to use the number 3. Okay, you can write it on a plate. You can stick your fingers up. Visually, we need to see the number 3. So, you know, you can obviously, one of the things a lot of people will do is just get a paper plate, write the number 3, make sure it gets in the camera just the way you would any other object of the day. On Friday, the object of the day is the orange towel. So orange on Friday, and that means blue on Saturday. Now, as a backup, if anybody, because we're scattered, and it's been a challenge to make sure everything went the way we needed it to go and everybody got what they needed to get. If for whatever reason you didn't get your bucket or you misplaced your towels, we're going to use an additional object of the day number, and on Friday that is number 2. So on Friday you can use the number 2 or the orange towel, or both if you want to. On Saturday, use the number 1 or the blue towel. So that will make sure that somebody misplaces their towels or they get blown out or whatever, we'll still have a good video of the object of the day. So I'm going to repeat that. Thursday, object of the day is 3. Friday, the object of the day is 2 and the orange towel. Saturday, the object of the day is 1 and the blue towel. There is no Thursday weigh-in. But because we do have Thursday fishing, we're going to move the hours for the Friday weigh-in up to 3 o'clock. And we'll weigh a Friday blue marlin as early as 3 p.m. And you can weigh a fish on Friday as late as 12 p.m. If you can't make a 12 p.m. dock time, keep that fish on ice and let's weigh him Saturday. We're only going to weigh blue marlin we're only going to open for blue marlin on Friday. But if you bring a blue marlin to weigh and you have meat fish, we will weigh them. You are going to be required to provide advance notice to any of the land contacts on your reporting communication sheet, what your ETA is and what your fish is, or length of your fish rather. So that's Friday weigh-in. Saturday weigh-in is 4 to 6, and we've kind of already gone through those procedures. So something very important for all of y'all to remember, you got this book in your bucket. It's something we do every year. In the back of this book, you'll have multiple copies of the weighed fish form. Right here, it looks like that. And you'll need one of those. Basically for each fish weighed. All right. You also have multiple copies of our video verification form, and that looks like that. It's in your book. We are going to send an email out tonight with attachments with additional forms, so you will be able to either print those and take them to your boat tonight or tomorrow, or you'll have them on your phone or device, and we're going to make sure that everybody gets additional forms by email, as well as an additional copy of the general information. All of this stuff, by the way, are also available. The verification forms and the general information are also available on the Lone Star Shootout website. Now, the catch report form, you have this here. This is really important because this will take us into the reporting requirements. And you should use this form every time you report a fish, every time you release a fish, write it down here. When you report it to a committee boat or to a land contact, make a note on here. There's not really a spot for it, but make a note so that we know who you made a report to. Okay, so use this catch report just to keep good reporting notes, as well as your catch notes. And then we'll get those from you as you arrive back in at the weigh station or the video review. If you're unable to reach a land contact or you're unable to reach a committee boat and you get a report to another tournament boat, make sure you make a note of anybody that you give a report to. And the same goes for if you take a report from another boat and you're not a committee boat, then you won't have the committee boat form, but you can use the catch form if you get called by a boat that can't reach a land contact or can't reach a committee boat. Write that report down on this, make a note of who, the boat, the reporting that they gave you, and that way you can provide that to us, and that's a valid report because any tournament boat can act as a committee boat. So, while we're on reporting, I want to just go over that real quick. And this book also includes your rules. So it's a requirement that every boat must report billfish releases or blue marlin boated. You have 3 land contacts on this sheet as well as the committee boats. If you have a device on your boat that will allow you to text your text message to one of the land cell phones with a good report with the name of the boat, the name of the angler, the species caught, and the time of the release is what we need. And if you can do it, texting is very good because it gives us the report back here, allows us to keep kind of a spreadsheet going on our leaderboard, and gives you a good solid report. And you can make a note to your catch report that that's how you gave the report. All billfish must be reported as soon as possible. So I realize sometimes it might take a while for you to raise somebody or get communication, so I just want to make sure to be clear on the fact that as soon as you are able to get a report to another tournament boat or land contact or committee boat, you must do that. It's your responsibility to make sure that you get a report of any released fish or boated fish. Real quick, I want to go over the scoring. I think everybody understands it. We go through this a lot every year. We have total tournament points, and that determines our champion. We have billfish release points, which will determine our billfish release winner, as well as will be used in the pots. There are 2 pots that are tied towards total tournament points. Most importantly, the championship is tied towards total tournament points. So the winner of the tournament is going to be based on total tournament points. Tournament point scoring is exactly the same as release scoring. So 750 points for a blue marlin, 200 points for a white marlin, and 100 points for a sailfish. Now, weighed blue marlin, the weight of a weighed blue marlin only counts as it applies to the weighed blue marlin side pots. Weighed blue marlin for total tournament points are the same as a released blue marlin. That's 750 points. But where the weight comes in is only as it applies to the side pots. So there's no bonus, there's no deduction. Every blue marlin you catch in total tournament points is 750 as long as it's a verified release and or legal boated fish. The other pots that comes into, total points will determine the winner of the all-in pots, and it will also determine the winner of the lures only pot. And I do want to remind everybody, if you entered the lures only pot on your verification form, on your release fish form, as well as your weighed form, if you catch a legal blue marlin that you weigh, write it on your weighed fish form that you caught it on a lure. If it's a release fish, write it on your verification form that you caught it on a lure. So it's very important, if you're in the lures only pot, that you make sure that you make notes of that, so that when we do our tournament results and we're looking at your video or weighing your fish, that we give you, proper credit for catching on a lure. So we won't know that unless you make sure that you bring that to our attention by marking it on the forms. IGFA rules, the tournament is basically run according to IGFA rules with a couple of exceptions. And we've had those exceptions now for a couple of years. And I'll tell you what they are because I'm going to read them right to you. We have two exceptions to IGFA rules that have to do with the angling side of things. Your tackle is all required to be IGFA legal. The first exception is an angler may receive assistance getting the rod to the chair or harness immediately after hookups. Once that is done and the angler is settled in fighting the fish, then the fight must be finished and completed entirely unassisted as required by IGFA. The other exception to IGFA rule is that an angler or mate may set the hook and pass the rod to another angler after the hookup. This may occur only one time and only immediately after hookup. So I wish we were all in the room together where I could take your questions. I think I've covered most of the high points. I do encourage you to follow up after watching this video with a review of the rules. Your laminated sheet has video release rules. It also has video tips. One of the tips I want to remind everybody about is please do not use Zoom. Anytime you try to zoom in your release video, you're gonna blur the field and you're gonna lose good imaging of the ID of the fish. Take video from the bridge is best, and we like iPads. iPhones are allowed, but they're just a terrible tool to use, so we don't encourage it. And you got to make sure when you get back to Port O'Connor that you present that video with a person that knows how to operate it, so we can get your video reviewed and your release fish approved. So I think I've about covered it all. Unfortunately, I can't take your questions, but if you have any, you have my cell phone. Most of you already have it. If you don't have it, it's right there on the land contacts. Feel free to call me. You can call me from offshore if you want to, from your sat phone. You could call me in the morning, anytime before departure when you still have good cell contact. So with that, I wish you guys great luck and be safe. I know it's going to be a little bumpy on the way out tomorrow, and probably y'all are saying, yeah, maybe a little. But I think the weather's going to settle out for you, and hopefully we can have some great fishing. And we can't wait to see all you guys back at the dock on Saturday night. So good luck, be safe, see you soon.